guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily and today I'm going to talk to you about how to start a Lego city. There are probably hundreds or even thousands of little decisions to make along the way and it's confusing, it's intimidating, so I'm going to break it all down for you today. So if you're new here, let me just catch you up to speed on my city and my experience with this. Right now we have a whole room in our house dedicated to our Lego city / Lego Disney World. We are building a huge amusement park and it's looking absolutely amazing. So I have experience working with a giant space, but I also used to live in a tiny apartment downtown where my city was basically just a floating shelf on the wall. So I have experience working with really tiny spaces as well as a giant room in our house. And I just want to say that our Lego city / Lego Disney World is still at the very early stages. It is definitely nowhere near finished. There's so many things I want to do to it still, but I feel like that makes it more relatable. I see these giant cities like from Brixie or Mr. Bookieboo that are absolutely fantastic and I cannot wait for my city to get to that point. But you have to start somewhere. It is not a race, it is a marathon, little baby steps, you know? But I think the hardest part about all of it is just getting started and taking that first step, like what tables do I need? What base plates? What color base plates? What size tables? What about road plates? Do I need them? Do I need the old ones, the new ones, the mill system? There are so many little things to think about, but I'll break it all down for you today. Okay, so this first one might sound a bit obvious, but you need to assess the space you have. Where are you going to build your Lego city? For us, we had a bedroom that we could use, and that was fantastic. I know not everybody has that, but if you do, awesome. That's really exciting. You'll have a lot more space to work with. For others, you might not have as much space available, but you might have a wall that's open, and you could do a shelf Lego city. Those look really cool. There's still a lot you can do with that. I have to recommend Shy Time is My Time. He has an amazing Lego city on shelves. Go check that out if you want some inspiration for your shelf Lego city. But yeah, there's a lot that you can do with a large space versus small space. For smaller spaces, you have to be a bit more condensed, and that's not a bad thing. You just need to understand the space you have and work with it. Understand that you probably can't have every single modular, depending on how many shelves you have, I guess. Whereas in a larger room, in a larger Lego city, you can expand a lot more. Like my Disney World, it kind of stretches across quite a few tables, and that's just because I have the space for that. I have these large sets like the roller coaster, the Disney Castle, the carousel, stuff like that. So before you go out and buy any furniture for your Lego city, just make sure you understand the space you have, because you might be buying shelves versus tables, and you just need to know that ahead of time. Okay, so now let's talk about furniture. This is super important, and the sizing for it is probably one of the most important parts in getting started. So you really need to think about the sizing of the base plates and how that'll fit with the tables that you choose. For us, we use tables for our city, and we got them from IKEA. It's the Lindman / Adels brand from IKEA. I know Brixie uses them, as well as a few other Lego city builders, and I have to recommend them because they're just really nice. They're cheap. You also get color variety from bright white to gray to green, and those are all kind of Lego colors. For me, I chose gray because it kind of blends in with the gray base plates, but it's totally up to you. If you like the look of the white, go for it. And I chose these tables because of the sizing. So base plates are normally 15 inches by 15 inches or 10 by 10. And these tables, I believe, are about 60 by 30. So the math works out really well. There's not going to be too much overlap with your base plates covering the tables. And that's really important. You don't want it kind of sagging around the edges. You want it to be really clean. You want it to fit to the tables. Plus with the IKEA furniture in general, it's very modular. You can kind of mix and match a bit. So I chose the kind of basic standard stuff. You can add some drawers underneath if you really want to spice it up a little bit. For our Lego city, we just kind of kept it open with the normal legs on it, and we just shoved boxes underneath it and kind of store stuff under there. So it's really up to you what you want to do with that. But if you're working with a smaller space and you're just doing a shelf city, the lac shelves from IKEA, again, down in the description below, are absolutely fantastic. We used to have those in our old apartment when we were doing the shelf Lego city, and they worked really well. They do fit base plates. Like the depth of it is just bigger than a base plate. So that works really well. You can add a little bit of extra stuff in the front if you would like to. The thing with these shelves though is you really want to reinforce it. We had, I think, 4 or 5 modulars up there when we lived there and we had our shelf city. That's a little scary. You definitely want to reinforce those shelves. We actually had some wall anchors as well as like a bracket underneath the shelf, and that worked out really well. There were no Lego fatalities. It was perfect. So just keep that in mind if you are doing a shelf city. Just make sure you set it up right. You do not want your Lego sets to just come crumbling down. And then there's always the third option of making the furniture on your own. Good luck. We did not choose to do that because we don't have the skills or the tools to do that. But if you're able to do that, that sounds like a really good option because then you can customize the size perfectly to fit to the base plates. The stuff from IKEA works really well, but it's still off by a little bit, like a few inches on either side. If you're making it on your own, you won't have that problem. So that's definitely a bonus. Okay, so now this is where the fun begins. Let's talk about what Lego sets to put into your Lego city. So yes, I know you probably want to go out and get all the modulars because they look absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna say don't do it. Don't do it right off the bat. Start with what you have. If you're just into Star Wars and you're thinking about starting a Lego city, make a little Star Wars city. There's nothing wrong with that. Be different, be unique, make your city your own thing. Just be really creative with it. If you're only into Harry Potter right now, make a little Harry Potter city. Just use the sets that you already own because Lego is expensive. It is so unrealistic to go out and buy all of the old modular sets or, any other Lego sets that you would see in a city typically. It's expensive, and a lot of the old modulars cost a fortune, and I don't even own all of them, and we have a giant city in our other room. So my best advice for you with starting the city and the sets you need, just start with what you have. Do not go out and buy a bunch of stuff. Set up whatever you have already, put it on base plates, and start collecting the modulars or any other sets you want through time. Your city does not need to look like everybody else's. I think that's something really important that a lot of people don't really talk about. Make it unique, make it your own thing, make it an expression of who you are, add some stuff in there that you really love. I love Disney, so I made a Lego Disney World, and it's totally different than anything else I've seen. It's basically just an amusement park because I don't want it to just be Disney sets. Like, I want to throw in sets that I love, like my Legoland stuff. I want to have a little Scooby area, stuff like that. Like, make it really different, make it a reflection of who you are. I think that's really important. There really is a finite number of sets that would fit into a Lego city. So if you want to add Marvel stuff in there, add your Marvel sets. If you want to add Star Wars stuff, add Star Wars. Throw a Star Wars ship in there. That'd be so cool. But really what I'm trying to convey is don't spend all your money on new sets. Like, use what you have already. Lego's expensive. Do not go spend all your money buying new sets to put into your city. It'll go through time. And also just try to be really creative with it. It is so fun seeing cities that are just completely different than anything else I've seen. Okay, so now let's move on to something that you do need immediately. Base plates. You need base plates, and at least this is how we're doing our city. I'm sure there's other methods out there where you don't need base plates, but we do, so I'm gonna advise that. Go buy base plates, go buy them. Measure the tables and shelves where you're gonna put your Lego city and just fill it up with base plates. That's how you start, and then start arranging your sets on there. Like, really, that's kind of the foundation, minus the furniture itself. You need base plates. Oftentimes Target or Amazon have them on sale, so definitely try to get them on sale or get them at a slight discount. Any Lego on sale, honestly, is just like, amazing. And then as for the colors of the base plates, get whatever you want. Like, think about what you want in your city. For my Disney World, I have a solid mix of gray and green just because I want some more grassy areas. I want some more concrete areas. So it's really up to you. Some people even have beaches in their Lego cities, and that looks really cool, where you have the tan base plates with some blue for the ocean. So try to think ahead to what you want in your city, whether it's an amusement park or like a typical downtown area, maybe a beach, who knows, and try to find a colored base plates that would most closely match that kind of thing. Okay, so finally, let's talk about road plates. You have a bunch of options when it comes to road plates. There's the new 2021 version, there's the older version of like road plate, base plate type thing, and then there's no road plates, so that's also an option. You don't need road plates in your city, and I feel like I haven't heard enough people talking about this, especially for you people working with smaller spaces. You don't need to have a road system in your city. It takes up a ton of space, and you might want to fill that with other things that you really enjoy. Roads aren't really necessary. For us in our Lego city though, we decided to go with the new 2021 version of the road plates. I just like how they look, I really do, and plus the old ones now are retired. So unless if you already had a Lego city with a full road system and you don't want to switch it over, start with the new 2021 version. That's what we did. That's my advice. The old ones are gonna get more expensive through time because Lego isn't producing them anymore. Whereas the new ones, yes, they do cost a bit more, but I think they look really nice. They're a lot more versatile, I think. So that's what we decided to go with. And when I say that they're versatile, I mean they really are. We've done something in our city that I haven't seen anywhere else. We have a median going down our downtown Ladyburg area with kind of two different one-way roads on either side of it. And that was not possible before with the old road plates. So I really do like the new 2021 versions of them, but it is completely up to you. It's a little bit tricky because the old ones are quite large. They're the size of base plates, so it takes up a lot of space, whereas the new ones are really small. They're a lot smaller than I wish they were. I wish there was like an extra stud or two on either side of it because I have extended mine to make them a little bit bigger. So just kind of think about these things when you're starting your city. If you have a ton of space, go with road plates. I think that'd be really cool. There's a lot you can do with them to make it really interesting. If you don't have that much space, maybe ditch the road plates. That's totally cool. You really don't need road plates in your city. Another option that I'll mention but don't know too much about is the mill system. I don't use this in my city. I think it looks really beautiful. I love it. Check out Bevan's Bricks. I've linked him down in the description below. He has some really great tutorials on how to do this. We just don't really do it in our city, so I can't really talk too much about how that works. Alrighty, well thank you all so much for watching. I hope this was informative and useful to you as you start out on your LEGO City journey. I know I've had a blast putting together my LEGO City, so I hope you do too. For those of you out there who have already started working on your LEGO cities and you have some tips and tricks that I didn't mention in this video, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you because I'm learning every day. I would love to hear your advice as well. And with that, thank you again for watching and I'll see you next time.